Okay, so what's wrong with my internet? What's going on? Okay, my internet is back. So there was something I was trying to explain the other time, how that your research statement of problem, your what was it called? Your significance of study and your scope and limitation of study and your operational definition of terms, how you should have it done, combining ChatGPT and Gemini together. So, because all of that can come from your own self intuition expectedly. So, and aside from the background of study passage that we've used the journal, the system we use to solve that. So for the statement of problem, so now what I want to do is to, uh, you know, is to bring to your notice that even if you cannot come up with, you know, those right, I mean, okay, for the statement of problem, I did not even come up with the write up with any write up guide. I just gave ChatGPT to write statement of problem, right? So you can equally copy the objective and say and say something like this and say, okay, let me use a new chat. Let me use a new chat and say write statement of problem. Write a strong, let me say strong and brief statement of problem passage on this research this research project topic. Okay, so yeah, acknowledge that the course study is carried out in Nigeria with these following objectives. Yeah, so okay, so now let's see. Yeah, you can see we have a shorter version of it. You can see the shorter version of it. So with that, with this also, if you want to write your scope, you can now say write scope and limitation to study passage. You can see. So now this is a generic scope and limitation, but however, it still tailored it to the research objective. You can see. So this also can. So if you don't have an idea of what it should look like, because of course you're working with me, I'll provide you sample, right? But if you are finding difficult to critically think about how it should look like and whatnot, you can always go with this format because remember the what we are ensuring to do is that everything is aligned together. So that's why we give it the objectives. So it's not a generic something per se, but what I should say is writing it in line with the objectives. So it's not just writing something too generic that you will find in other person work, but is acknowledging the objective and also making it in line and constrained in whatever way we want it. We just I mean by following the objective of the study. Then we can now say write school and no sorry, write operational definition of terms. You know, so you can see still still awesome, but I'm not going to copy this because the one we have there is quite okay. So you can see awesome, perfectly awesome. So this is main. So this is the way you should go if you are writing your project or any task that you'll be given, just do it this way, and this is awesome. So you don't have to, you know, um, fall into the trap of what you've uploaded the journal. In fact, I also noticed that I made a mistake because I should have stated here that sorry, I should have stated here in the topic that it's in Nigeria. Yeah, I should have stated here that the topic is in Nigeria. So let's see what we will get if I to change it. Let me copy it once again. Let me copy it once again. Okay, let me copy the prompt. Let me copy it here. I want to see. So that is how you can be, in Nigeria. Let me include that. Nigeria. So now let's see what we get. Gemini no respond you. Gemini no respond. Okay. Gemini no respond. Okay. It's not responding. Let me try new one because we are using a free version, right? So so let me try a new one. Let me upload the journals, 10 journals. Okay. So then let me give it the prompts. Okay. Something is wrong somewhere. It's still not. No, this is the issue. It's not there. Okay, let me try this one. Or let me refresh. Something is wrong. Yes. Okay. Let me try this. I think I'm even yet to. Okay. So let me try this. So we should have something much more refined. So that is to tell you that you have to have an idea what you want to do, and it will help you to now to train the AI to do the work. In the more you have to provide the AI the context, the and that is basically talking about the description of the 4Ds that will help you in using AI. So you have to give AI what you want to do, the context, the concept, the how far you want it to go, how narrow you want it to be. So the better your prompt or instruction, the better the output you get from AI. Now I'm doing all of this, so that you know how to say that your work is good, even in the area of AI, especially for academic purpose. And don't also forget that the onions is on you to read. Now, because I've done this thing over time, I know what is and what not. Although there may be some little changes depending on whichever school that you are working on, but the basics many at times does not change. So I know all this. I mean, I have the knowledge of all this, right? Is why I'm able to, refine and know that, oh, this is not what I'm looking for. There's a mistake here. There needs to be some correction here. So now you can see the Gemini still operate like the way it did in this thing, which we don't want. We wanted to give us the just see this. So let me go to the format. The this thing that we just do. So the updated prompt. You can see how I updated my prompt. So that helps me to know how to prompt ChatGPT, Gemini, to work better the way I want it. So that is, you know, that is what we are doing right here. So I'm going to create a new chart. I'm going to drop this again. So you can see that even this one also works the same way as the free. because this pro version is the lower level. Even if it's this is to work the same way, to work the same way. So that's one thing I noticed by Gemini. Sometimes I wonder why would somebody pay for the pro when you are most likely getting the same service of free from pro. So then I change it to Canvas and then send. Why did I even bring it to another page? Why? Okay, yeah, because that one was giving us in a sectional format, and we don't want that, right? So we are going to compare and contrast between what we'll be getting here because we've now had it in Nigeria, right? So I'm going to pause this so that it does not take too long. And with this, we are done with chapter 1, then we move on to chapter 2.